The man we find hard to characterize in the bottom right.
Jin Air Green Wings. Cure.
The person we definitely don't have a hard time characterizing.
Splice. Stats.
So Cure, characterizing
Yeah.
Cure, okay. You know what Cure kind of reminds me of? Was TY before he made his breakout into being one of the very best Terrans in StarCraft 2. Do you remember what he played like way back in the day?
I
like
mean,
TY
I would
was
have been like 14, so
yeah,
it's hard for me to remember.
Well, so was TY, but it was like which is also a little bit hard to describe exactly, but it was like quite good.
Yeah.
Brings out some very cute builds from time to time, right? Isn't quite at the top, but like good, and everyone knows that there's the potential there.
Yeah.
But like TY almost had like sniper builds from time to time.
Yeah,
This is not exactly
It does
that
kind
with
of
Cure.
feel though like sometimes he has a sniper build on a certain
Yeah.
map against a certain player. Like he just
Yeah.
breaks out, demolishes them, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from?
And again, he's historically done well against stats. Like he knocked him out in Season 1 of this year in the round of 32, and I believe he defeated stats last year in a GSL as well, if I'm remembering correctly.
I don't know if you're remembering correctly, but sure.
Well, you thought I wasn't remembering correctly on the knockout
one?
this year in the round of 32,
I just
but
didn't think Stats has ever lost.
he has though. He has.
I wonder, I mean, we're talking about sniping, right? I feel like Stats is definitely a player that you can snipe. Like, if this was like a team league or something, you can definitely prepare things for Stats, so...
Yeah, Stats sometimes falls back into his own style a little bit too heavily, I think.
Too heavily, yeah.
But every now and then, he will bust out something else, right? We will see him all in from time to time or something like
Very
that.
rarely, though.
But, I mean, right now he's chrono boosting and getting a sentry, and everything
Playing
looks very
normally,
Stats-esque.
He,
right?
Yeah, when we're speaking on it, like Stats versus Classic, it's kind of like Classic is okay to go outside of his comfort zone and do things that you wouldn't expect him to, whereas it feels like Stats more relies on just being the better player.
Yes,
and that
very much so.
lends himself to be countered because people, expect the way he's going to play. And I think it's a lot harder to do that with certain Protoss. It's like Zest, Classic, Patience, like all these players break out things that you're not expecting, but Stats doesn't really do that.
They randomize their play a lot better, where, with Stats, that's where you get a lot of upsets, is when you're just always trying to outplay your opponent. Because, you can definitely do it, and it gives you a certain level of stability that those other Protoss players that you named don't have.
Right.
Like, look at Zest. He is so up and down.
Right.
But at the same time, his peaks are higher than Stats generally, right? He has a bunch of championships. I mean, Stats has been in the finals a bunch of times, so maybe that's not 100% fair, right?
Well, I mean, look at Patience eliminating Maru.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or not eliminating, but taking him out. Like, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, when you are Protoss itself, I mean, they say that's Classic, but really it's Patience.
So we've got Blink and Mind Drop. I think these builds are very standard.
Yeah. And a great scout going on by this Phoenix right now. He knows exactly what's incoming for him.
Yeah,
Has that Robo on the way.
When I'm a Protoss player and I see that they're going for Mind Drop and I'm going Blink, I feel really comfortable.
Yeah.
It feels really good. Like, when I go Blink and I see 3 Raxes or something like that, it's a little scary, but you should know that you're not going to be pressured anytime soon. I think that's the big play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides the Mind Drop, obviously. But you're not going to be all in, rather. Engineering Bay, this already kind of suggests that not going to be like a really fast all in. Looking more like a 2-base, possibly 3-base.
I feel like what we're going to see from Cure is a third command center. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't throw down his third command after he gets these Raxes up.
Yeah. Which is interesting because Stats is going to want that. Oh! It's a little scary. Going into the mine.
Well, looks like it's going to be pretty standard getting a couple probes there.
Oh,
I like that. Adding the Reaper into the natural. Look at that. He does better than
literally,
Mines.
Yeah, I was going to say, he did better than the mines.
Look at that. 1 Reaper. Gets 3 of them.
Oh, but the medevac going down is huge. That basically shuts down all possibility. Like, if that medevac just sits there, you have to always wonder, is it going to come back?
Yeah.
It's just a constant thing you're thinking about as a Protoss, and now look at it, it's immediately the Stalkers just go out on the map. Like, you don't have to worry.
Yeah. And the Reaper's even gone. I mean, there's nothing that's really going to get into your base.
I don't know if I like it, actually. I mean, the Reaper part's fine, but obviously losing the medevac is huge.
Yeah. He didn't even get that third mine out, did he?
No.
I don't believe so.
No, it didn't. I think he put it back in the medevac.
Yeah. Well,
Double tech lab.
Yeah, and Stats right now just going to get a little bit of pressure on. I don't think he's going to get a whole lot done right now, but he doesn't need to.
Look at this position for the bio. It's so nice because if you blink in, you're losing so many stalkers, but at the same time you can't really harass.
One Marine getting hit by one stalker here.
This is such a beautiful play. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so simple, but at the same time, it's just aesthetically pleasing. Because those stalkers want to blink in so bad.
This is so silly, yeah.
They want to blink in so bad. Like, you can see that. If they were telegraphing their emotions, they'd just be like,
that. He's going to force him out now.
Maybe he's just like, oh, my bio's gone. Maybe,
Nope, time to get out of here. Kill a Marine or two and blink out.
one more.
Wow. 4 Marines.
Go for mine?
Oh,
okay.
my
This
God.
is a yikes for me,
Yeah,
as
this is
the
not
kids say.
going super well.
That was very nice blink control. Third CC on the way.
Yeah, everything kind of as expected.
800.
Very, very standard stuff coming out of Cure right now.
Look at that resource loss rate just based off of the mine, or the stalkers basically,
Yeah.
and the medevac dying.
Oh, that was the stalkers as well.
This push seems a little odd to me.
Well, I think you're supposed to move out right. Oh my God, you can't be losing that medevac. But I think you're supposed to move out right now, but not really do anything with it. You know, it's like take back the map a little bit, force the stalkers to go home. You don't want those things just sitting outside your base and just sitting there as a Terran. You should be more active like this because you can win in the middle of the map. It's just you can't really attack Protoss right now.
Yeah, but as we saw, he was just losing things for free, basically.
Yeah, it wasn't perfectly executed that coming out. Losing the medevac is the heartbreaking part.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like he's going to split up his forces. He does have another mine drop set up here. Not sure if he's actually going to get too much done.
Does Sat see this? Because you could stim up here, possibly.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good defense.
Yeah. Perfectly done there by Stats.
Yeah.
He's sealed up tight right now. He's got his 2-2 on the way.
Kier just turns around immediately too. This feels really bad for Kier. He's losing a lot of like momentum. Which if he's like Maru, I think he's fine.
Yeah.
It's hard to say if he's like at that caliber of like ability to just kind of come back from any position. Because generally you want to be ahead as a Terran player and just keep that momentum constantly, right?
Yeah,
like just keep your advantage the whole game. But if you're even or behind, which I would say we are probably behind unless something crazy happens. It's really hard to play.
I think he is a little bit behind right now. Like, look at that. Stats definitely feels that way as well. He's got 2-2 and Storm not done, and he takes his forward. He needs to back up the hill, though. He needs to back up.
This is really...
You can't fight there. You got to cancel that. There's no way, Stats. Get up that hill. What are you doing?
Stats.
What are you doing?
He only has like 15 zealots here.
My God.
Okay, the stalkers are here.
And Kier's like, don't worry. I'm waiting for your whole army to get here.
Yeah, even if he just trades here. Okay. Even if he just trades here, though, this feels good for Kier.
Yeah.
Because Kier's been building army for so long. Might even be able to get a mortal here.
Yeah, he's going to get one.
Okay.
Oh, nice pickup.
Yeah, this just feels...
It's shocking that Stats took this fight. That seemed so clear that he needed to go up the ramp immediately. Like, when that comes out, the thing is, you have 2-2 and Storm on the way.
Yeah.
Do you need that fourth right this second? No.
Hey, even this fight is really bad.
Yeah,
There's no support for the stalkers.
There's shield batteries right on the ramp. Just turn around.
Nice storms, but honestly, there's nothing here. I mean, everything's going to go down here. If he doesn't find a way to be more efficient, Libs join the fight. There's no way you defend this, I don't think.
Yeah.
He's lost too many units. He doesn't have any storm to buy any time. There's nothing of substance here.
Do you know if he had pulled back initially up the ramp, how big his army would be right now?
Yeah, if he just waited for Storm, because Storm came after the fight.
He would have 2-2 and 350 supply of Protoss units.
That's a good way of putting it, Artosis. It looks like this game's going to end here, though.
Yeah.
All the Immortals go down. Stalkers are going down. No Storm. Nothing here, really. I don't see any way of defending this. No, even if he does, he's dead. 88 supply to 149. Is this a counter?
Oh, don't worry. There's a Prism on the other side. He's still got this.
Yeah. I have to imagine he tops out once that Zealot thing does nothing. GG.
Okay. So that happened. Yeah, I feel like this is the story of Stats this year. Like, do you remember the PVT played on King's Cove where a Raven-based attack was coming. He was going Colossus, and he didn't move out.
Oh, yeah, with like a bunch of...
Where it was just like, okay, this is a very basic concept. You move out with the Colossus to make him spend his interference matrix,
right,
and then you back up, and then you can hold your third. Instead, he sat at his third,
and then they got
attack came up and killed him.
Yeah.
And here it was like, that army, it's like you have a much quicker third, and you have 2-2 on the way. Your opponent does not, right? And he's taken his fourth so quickly. Like, he did some very good defense earlier on and picked off units.
Yeah.
But that exact moment is the exact moment that Terran balloons in supply compared to Protoss. You need to
if he just
not
waited for a
overextend
2-2
yourself.
stim and then took the fourth, but it felt like he was doing everything, and then he got hit right before 2-2 and Storm, and then he fought it for some reason.
Expanded, was teching, was upgrading, was trying to power, and took a fight all at the same time.
Right.
That was definitely a deserved win for Cure.
The Blue Terran.
Jin-Air Green
I don't know how to
Wings.
characterize
Cure.
it, man. The Jin-Air Green Wings Terran that isn't Maru.
The stats killer.
The stats
How about
killer.
that?
A little bit of an error of judgment last game, really.
Splice. Stats.
It truly was.
Yeah. I
Like-
don't know if he just thought the army was smaller or if it was less committed.
Well, Stats' opening was beautiful, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he stops the mine drop dead in its tracks, right? He gets the medevac and everything, only loses
Think
a
about
few
the
probes.
Stalkers, too.
Yeah, yeah.
You couldn't have asked
the
for better
harassment,
micro.
He picked off tons. He picked off a mine, a medevac, and a bunch of Marines before going back home across the map, right? So all his early game was just magnificent. He had everything going, everything beautiful, and it definitely felt like he was ahead. So he made the fourth. I didn't mind that.
No, I
But
didn't
the
either.
the thing is, Kier could have engaged even quicker on that army and made that even worse for him.
I think Kira was a little bit like, "What are you fighting me?" Like, it's a little weird, right?
Right?
Maybe he like second guess. He's like, "Do you have like 10
Why are
Templar
you
or something?"
standing there?
Right.
Like, it was very obvious that Kier should have been able to, win that battle. I can't believe that he was doing absolutely everything at once and still fought.
Yeah. Well, anyways, good game by Kira, I guess. It was a really strong
Kier
timing.
played okay. Like, well,
And even if that timing failed, Kira wasn't all in. Kira was gonna play that game out.
Yeah.
That was just a build where you kind of trade out your bio for.
I don't think he added a second eBay, which kind of threw me off. But
No, he did have.
Maybe
went
he did
+2
during that.
armor though. He had +2 armor before stats at 2-2. So maybe that
no,
was.
that was +1 armor. He went +1 attack, then +1 armor.
Really?
Yeah. It was 1-1
Okay.
against.
Well, then it was
1-1.
1-1. My
Yeah.
bad. It looked like +2 for me. Maybe my eyes are off. As I was gonna say, that's really strange. They went +2 armor.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Don't worry. That would I would be flipping out if he went for a +2 armor rush. I'm like, but all the Terran units are ranged and they have stim. What are we doing?
I mean, yeah, I guess Storm.
But yeah. Anyways, we'll see if stats picks
Wait,
up.
is
puts
that
it
a
together.
2 next to the CC?
Yes, that is a 2 next to the CC.
Whoa.
You need glasses, my dude.
I do. Okay, so does he have a factory on the way, or is it already finished, or is this just 2 racks?
Oh,
2
I
CC?
think it's a reactor into 2 CC, and then another racks. Kind of an old build.
Okay. So he's not going to put on any pressure ever?
This Reaper's putting on pressure right there. Look at that.
This is kind of scary, though. Gate Cyber, Twilight against what do you even have if he goes for some all-in? The thing is, Stats is not
generally
going to do it.
doesn't. And this map is kind of like the last map,
It's
right?
2 racks.
Yeah. An old build. here.
You act like this is very chill. This is like crazy to me.
Well, this is not like a super standard thing right now, but it's definitely a TvP build that we've seen a lot in the past. And the thing is,
Yeah.
when you account for who he's playing against, it makes sense.
It does. It really does. If you count for this being stats, it 100% makes sense.
Now, if you're playing against Patience, you just signed your own death warrant.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you put yourself up against a lot of Protosses, you sign your death warrant.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think Stats does when he sees this? Do you think there's anything he does to pressure, or does he just take a 3rd Nexus immediately?
I think he immediately takes a 3rd Nexus.
I think that's the most Stats thing to do. Looks like the probe is
yeah,
going
just
there.
make your 3rd Nexus.
Yeah.
Maybe
I like
add 2 Forges as well.
Yep, look at that. Instant 3rd Nexus.
Let's see if he adds 2 Forges now. Let's
That
see.
would be sick if he double forge here.
Yeah, I think he should.
Yeah, he definitely should.
Like, he just warped in 2 Stalkers. That could have been 2 Forges. What are you doing, Sets? Come on.
Have 1 gate, double forge, blink.
Yes.
You're right. Or double Stargate.
double Stargate.
And
What
a
the hell
fleet
are you going to make
beacon.
with that? Oh my god, that sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard.
No, you got to go for that carrier. Okay, Robo. No Forge yet.
Huh. Okay.
What if
It's
it has
just-
like a 3-base timing? But the problem is if you do something like that,
Oh, no,
yeah,
I don't
Kier's
think it
already
works.
set up for it, right?
Yeah, because he went for his third command center so quickly, if you tried to hit a 3-base timing, I think what you
playing
do
into
here
him.
is 3-base defense with upgrades.
I agree. I'm just surprised that we haven't seen the Forge yet.
I am too. I'm just
at
like
least
staring
one.
at the production tab wondering.
Right? Like at least one Forge at this point is fine.
Like, he can't actually get damage done. Like, maybe he can get up and delay the third CC from going to the third base area. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's no... Like, Cure can't attack him, just like he can't attack Cure.
Right.
And that's when you add your 2 Forges. There's the 2 Forges.
There's the 2 Forges. I guess it doesn't really
it does.
matter.
It does matter. Everything matters.
It does?
Well-
Serious. We're just right. Stats is wrong.
He was definitely wrong last game, so I'm not going to count out, you know. I feel like he could have been a little bit more greedy this game, but that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, he
Nice.
he took the third, like we said.
Yeah. And I mean, he has gone double Forge at this point. He's getting very good scouting off, doing a little bit of pressure, a little bit of harassment. That's good.
Ooh. Does he know about the mine drop? Have we scouted at all? Besides the... Oh, the Phoenix just went in like 2 seconds ago.
The
But did he scope
hallucinations.
before? Like,
Yeah.
He knows there's a mine drop coming?
The
Because this is a
hallucination-
really weird timed mine drop, right? Like, if you forget about it or don't think about it,
Yeah.
this could do a lot.
Yeah, it's possible.
Oh, my.
Oh, he could have killed that.
He still could have.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess he doesn't want the bunker. All right, here comes the first mine drop.
Not a big deal.
2 sentries?
Oh, if he gets this off, that's actually huge.
Okay, he doesn't.
Very quick pull by stats.
I don't think he was expecting this mine drop, though. Like 2 sentries in the in the third
No,
base doesn't make
certainly.
any sense.
That's not how you stop mine drops last I checked.
Oh, nice. I forgot he had blink. I was gonna say what? Charge on the way. 1/1. Immortal.
Yeah, another mine drop coming in. I like this spike here. Because these are kind
Yeah.
of funny timed,
Funny
right?
timed, right?
And his stalkers are cross the map harassing, so why not? If you get one of these to work, it's
game
huge.
just ends. Like,
Yeah.
it's so bad, especially if you take the third base.
You
this
get like
fast.
9 probes on one of these. Oh my god. Get out of here. Okay. Well,
This
the
was
mine drops
special.
don't
Those
end up doing
mines
that
would have saved 40 seconds. Remember specials mines?
much. Oh yeah, you got to keep retargeting those right now.
Oh,
He's actually, I really like what he's been doing with the activity of his stalkers.
he's so efficient with them.
Yeah, he's just consistently picking off units.
What do you think about this drop? This double drop seems so YOLO.
Wait, is that 2 drops of bio?
Yeah, right? I mean, unless there's 3 mines in that, maybe. But still, it feels really crazy.
Yeah, it's a very weird drop.
Scan of the third.
It doesn't seem like something that should ever work.
He sees the stalkers and he gets out. I mean, that feels really strange.
But you know what this can do? If he just flies up and he's like, well, if nothing's there, I go in. But this kind of makes stats be at home, which allows Cure to take the map now. You don't want blink stalkers blinking back the entire way against you.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh.
That was a good blink.
Yeah.
That was good.
No, that was
What
good.
a good call.
Oh, no, that's mine.
Oh my god.
Nice. Yeah, this doesn't feel good, though. It feels like you're giving the Protoss initiative when you do something
Well,
like this.
I don't think you should have committed with that blink. I like with the 2 medevacs, I like him coming out and kind of getting stats to go back into his base, right? You like stamp your foot and then stats goes back into his Protoss cave.
Stats made a mistake. Did you see that?
I think there was a retarget on the mine, wasn't there?
Possibly.
Because that felt to me like he blinked at the right
It was
time.
either a retarget or the closest
Yeah.
second.
the
like,
closest ever.
ooh, saves it. This is cute. These like little skirmishes are really
Yeah.
good. Oh, okay. Hey, huge
Oh,
mistake. One of the
no.
blink. I think the blink is actually about to go off cooldown now. Okay. That was pretty bad. He might
Yeah.
get another stalker.
Good thing he
still.
doesn't have concussive. Well, now just I guess it just finished.
You know, like concussor would be so much faster with the new stim.
I know.
This feels like an overextension, especially if these have storm, which they do. It's training out for a lot of zealots.
Yeah, I mean, if you're keeping on pressure here and just reducing stats' army size, that's pretty decent against this gateway type
What is
play.
this person doing? Oh, okay.
Oh,
yep.
man.
Why not? Why do we even need that? He's getting ready for
He was
the
trying
next
to pull
patch.
the mine hits over the yeah. He's getting
He's
ready
just
for
like,
the next
oh,
patch.
I built this by accident.
He's like, here, just take this. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I know it's getting patched. I got to get better.
Yeah, this is becoming pretty efficient. I really like how he steps forward, but he doesn't really clump his army as much as he, Karen should. He like clumping their armies.
No, this is decent poking right here.
Yeah,
nice setup here defensively too.
Slowly getting a big army advantage. You look at the supplies. Okay, here comes somewhat of a flank here. If this gets destroyed, though, which it looks like it might.
Very nice break.
Yeah, that was a nice break. Yeah. How important do you think that flank was?
Completely important, yeah.
Yeah.
If you bring all of that through the front, it's definitely less efficient.
What?
This is a weird battle.
Yeah, they both seem to be like extending way off of their territory. The fact that we have so much fighting in the middle of the map where basically nothing of importance is, you know? Normally fights for Protoss versus Terran are like 4th or 3rd or something of importance, but they're just like skirmishing in the middle.
Yeah.
Which I think actually favors the Terran.
It seems weird because when you kind of chase them, then both of you fight and no one runs for a moment, it's like, wait, shouldn't one of you be wrong here?
Yeah, one of you definitely should be wrong.
One of you is making a funny decision here.
Is that a storm drop? Or
I
zealots?
think so.
If those are zealots, they're not scary. If that's storm, though, poof. Here's the time. This is the time to do the storm drop if it is. Here we go.
Oh, it's zealots.
Damn it. Zealots are so much less scary. Storm just erases at a mineral line. Leaves one zealot behind.
He's going to deny those 2 Raxes for days. All right, 3-3's on the way. Colossus Tech coming in as well. Stats taking his 4th base. Kira already has his up.
I love when libs chase a prism.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, those are going to...
You could actually just recall it like at any point. You're like, yeah, I'll recall it in like 10 seconds.
In 85 seconds from now when it comes back online. No problem.
Okay, it's just actually just walking away. And the Liberators give up.
I need these. I could probably park, warp in Stalkers, kill the Liberators, go back in.
This feels very good for Kier still. I like the 4th base already set up, 5th base on the way. Stats' army doesn't feel very late game-esque. It feels like it's the army that you build to not die to a bio timing. But we're getting to late game for Kier. This is going to be a pretty important fight right here.
Yeah. Well, I think he's still got enough to push this back right now for sure.
Yeah.
Unless he just... Well,
unless he does a stats, which is fight in the middle of the map when you shouldn't. It looks like it might be good.
Ooh. Those mines didn't even get to go off right there.
Honestly, though, I don't mind these trades for Kier. Like, he's got a 5th base on the way.
Yeah.
His tech is fine, right? Okay, this is bad, though.
That went better for Kier than I actually thought it would.
Sure. I don't want to disagree with you.
Please do.
No, because then we got to get into theory, and there's too much going on to disagree with you.
You didn't think that battle went a little bit better for Kier than it should have?
No, I thought it went fine for Kier, as expected even.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, what are these Colossus doing?
I have no idea right there. The flanking Colossus doesn't work out.
Look at the Stalkers are fully surrounded by bio. This is the weirdest fight I think I've ever watched.
All the fights this game have been very bizarre.
Somehow he comes out on top. He had a full surround on Stalkers, killed 2 Colossus for free, and then he won the fight. Stats won the fight.
He needs to get out of here, though. This is not going to last with this little podunk army.
What do you even do if you're in this position? You're like, which base? There's like 3 bases here.
I love that he has the Zealots in the 3rd. Poking everything else. Look at this.
This is such a crazy fight. Like,
he's
look at the
army. His army is so small. It feels like Kier should be able to surround and kill this soon. He's about to get 3-3.
Wait. If he gets +3, please get +3.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That's such a huge, huge kill. With 3-3 on the way.
All right, he's backing up. It's the right call to back up, though. I would love to see him kill the 3-3.
He should have backed up like 2 minutes ago, though.
No, I know. But I guess he bought time for those Zealots to do quite a bit. Look at that. 14 SCVs taken down. Yeah, Kier's SCV
really like
count not
Kier's
as
position,
good.
though. As long as he doesn't just die, like the late game setup feels way better for Kier. His 3-3's on the way. He's got more CCs. This army comp feels worse as the game goes on. EMP's going to be really strong. He's got Viking, Lib. Like,
yeah.
As long as he doesn't just die here.
It's not as late game an army here for stats, that's for sure. But he's trying to force an engagement once again.
Does that Prism have Storm in it?
No, it's empty.
Okay, so we're just not using Storm anymore?
The +3!
Oh, he got it.
That was a sick denial.
Why is he not using Storm?
Because he needs Archons, obviously.
You're right. Why do I even ask?
Did you know Concussive Shell doesn't work on Archons, Jake?
That makes so much sense. You're right.
Yeah.
You know what? Imagine if the new MP here, though.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Stats is
It's
using this patch as
mind-boggling
much
to
as he
me that
can.
this Protoss army just walked up this third base ramp with no storm and is now in this position at all. And it's stats, too.
Yeah. When I said he should back up, part of that was to get more High Templars.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like add some storm.
And he backed up. I'm like, all right, he's going to do it. He's going to fill out his army a little bit and have this sick composition. But he's like, no, more of the same. Let's go.
He's producing 2 Immortals at a time. Do you know what's going on anymore?
I like the Immortals, actually. I like adding in Immortals at this point.
don't.
But
Disruptors
you're
would
supposed
be-
to have Psystorm here.
Disruptors would be so much better.
Oh, that's too hard to micro, bro. Come on.
You got me.
No, you added a
just
lot of
keep
stability to your actual
Okay, he
main
added a bunch
army.
of Templar.
There you go. But he does not have Storm yet because they just warped in.
Okay, he's gonna...
What is this?
I don't know how to commentate anymore. What do you even say in this position? He's gonna get demolished here.
Yeah. Kier finally does take the fight. Like
I don't know if you can come back from this huge
No.
like, this is the most one-sided fight we've had of the game. And all these Templar have no energy.
Yeah. Push those towards him.
Look at the army supply. Oh, the 72 workers of 40, though. There's no way. I want to say there's no way stats holds here. But at the same time...
I think he'll live, actually. It's mostly Marauders. He did save an Immortal or two. He's continuing to get 2 Immortals at a time. Like, with Psystorm,
Pull the boys. Let's go. He's got enough CCs already. He can just pull the voice and rebuild. Look at... I love how he lands all his CCs. Like, we went from, like, 3 base to 5 instantly.
Yeah. Has to remake that armory for his plus 3. I can't. I'm so shocked by how this game has gone so far. Like, this has been a very fun, interesting game. It's just
so
the
complex,
fights
too,
that they've decided to take both of them have been very weird to me. And like the composition that stats use there, I'm glad though that Kier finally cleaned it out so one-sidedly.
He's heading on Disruptors now, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Especially because he just scouted a bunch of Vikings, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a great counter to that. There's Ghosts and Vikings out. Just
Do
make
you think
Disruptors.
this game goes on for like another 10 minutes now? Because I don't think either player is going to go for it.
Yeah, they definitely can't kill each other right now.
We might just get into a point where both players are like, you know what? Let's do it. You know, let's go time. Just like build a bunch of SCVs.
Well, he's re-adding his Ghost Academy and making 4 libs
Yeah.
at a time,
And
which
we
is
have
going to force
shields.
stats into libs. I mean, into Tempest to counter them, right? So yeah, totally. This game's going on.
Starting +3 now. Oh, this is kind of annoying.
Oh, there's one of those armies again with no Psystorm.
Well, I don't get it. I really don't get why we don't have Storm. Storm is so threatening.
Storm's a good spell, I heard.
It's extremely good. Took out that sensor tower. That was a big priority there. He's focusing down gateways at 17
Like, wait,
minutes
is
in.
he serious? Like,
Would these zealots just walk in? This game is so weird.
it's a scrappy game for being like maxed out supplies.
This is like one of the most scrappy PvTs I've ever watched at this point in the game.
All right, well, he actually busts that.
This
so
was a
that's very
great
nice.
fight.
Oh, he's got to back up. Come on, get in there.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, that was very good for stats.
How is this still a thing, though? What is going on? There's stuff going on everywhere.
Another warp in
This is
here.
only Marauders?
Yeah.
He's got a full 4 Marauder per medevac drop.
Yeah, he's been watching a lot of Mario replays.
The Vikings have dropped.
Oh
This might
my
actually
God.
be it, though.
Dropping the Vikings against the Mass Immortal here.
Okay, here comes some Disruptors. I was gonna say, actually, if SCVs were in this fight, he might have won it.
That was a really weird one. I felt like during that part where we kept saying stats should retreat, I felt like there was an opportunity for Kier to clear the army earlier. Stats like did magic with it.
Kier might have second guessed again because of how aggressive Stats was. Like
it
was
like,
what are you walking?
what
up
he
into
was
my
doing
third?
was so weird. Like the big Archon attack as well. Like the thing is, at the end of the day, it worked out for Stats, I guess.
Yeah.
But actually, the clear that Kier did there made me think that maybe he can actually win this game.
Right. I was actually scared for the counter. Okay, let's imagine you clear that and you just go pull all your SCVs and go. It was something like 100.
I think it's okay. So how about this idea, right? You think that maybe he should have pulled his SCVs and gone at that point? But what if he's looking at it and saying, "Where is his High Templar? Where are they?
What if he's got
They
10
must
High
be at
Templar
home, right? They must be
well,
at
if he-
home. I can't do the
If
count."
he has 10 High Templar at home, obviously pulling the boys is a bad idea.
Yeah.
And I think in hindsight, you might have thought that you were in a better position, right? after clearing that whole army, maybe you see 5, 6 CCs. I don't know how many CCs it actually was. So maybe
Yeah, he had like 5.
he thought he could play it out. I think that was the best case scenario for Stats, though.
Well, let Stats rebuild, certainly.
And he had 80 probes to 30 something.
I think that the Liberator production was a little bit late there. Like, he was going Viking for a little bit. He actually...
It felt like he wanted to teeter-totter a bit because there's so many Stalkers.
Yeah.
I think his Stalker comp was really heavy the whole time. So he's
Yeah.
like, do I keep building Libs? Because once Libs have critical mass, they're great. But if you
Yeah.
can't get to critical mass because Stalkers are constantly trading, it feels really bad. Like, if you keep getting, like, say, 2 Libs siege up, and then they die, and then you 2 more come out, you're like, well, these are actually just useless.
Yeah. I think with the amount of Marauders he was producing, though, why make those Vikings at that point, right?
Right.
Like, I don't think that if you're going, like, very, very, very heavy Marauder,
Right.
I almost feel like it's better to go in a Liberator there because the Marauders are going to auto-counter the Stalkers very well. And then you're going to kind of want the Liberators to help push that composition back because the Marauders do okay against the Colossus comparatively.
It seemed like he was kind of caught in the middle of his transition, you know?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, it was almost like he's flipping from, like... Because he was pretty quickly transitioning into late game already. We were talking about his late game army was better than Stats.
Yeah.
And I think Stats might have just been like, okay, you're clearly going for it. Let's kind of put pressure on before that happens.
Yeah. Well, it was a really interesting game.
No, that was
I actually quite
super
liked that
complicated too.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have gone forever if this was a replay.
We could have done an in-depth on that one.
Yeah, that one replay because it was crazy. The decision making and like where they were fighting is just all really intricate.
I'd love to relook at that battle where
What do you
Kier
think?
did a little bit better than I thought he would.
Actually, I'll ask this question after because you're not going to be able to answer it before we start our game.
Okay.
There's no way.
Acropolis, our third map. Here we go.
Here we go.
I look forward to your question.
Yeah. In the top left-hand corner, the Jin-Hair Terran that is not Maru.
Jin Air Green Wings. Cure.
Poor guy. Always compared.
Yeah.
Never measuring up.
And in the bottom right, the runner-up.
Splice. Stats.
Runner-up world champion.
Actually, Kier eliminates Stats more often than Maru does. Think about that.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question. If you playing this series and you're Kier, what do you take away from that last game?
That last game?
Yeah. I think it's
it was
really
such
hard.
a strange game.
It's really hard to take, like, okay, so for people that aren't pro gamers, after you play a set or a match, there's a lot you can take away from this. For example, Scarlet versus Hurricane. She can take away so much information for the rematch or for the third game if it existed.
Yeah.
But it feels like last game, it's so hard to take anything away from last game because it was so...
It was a slugfest. It didn't play too normally. It didn't actually exhibit like normal army movements or compositions.
Yeah.
Watching that game, I don't think Stats is going to play like that again. You
no,
know,
right. I don't think you think that either.
The closest thing I could take from that is that, Stats likes to harass with Blink Stalkers lightly, and I can probably get away with 3 Command Center quickly. That's probably the most of the takeaway, but that would have been things I already knew about Stats.
And those are the things he took away from game 1 too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's interesting. Do you think if one of these players got more information, which one of these players got
Oh,
it?
Stats got way more
sure,
information.
right?
Way more information.
Yeah, I think Stats may have found some pressure points within Kier's play.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if we see Stats try to pressure him in those points again. Well, it felt like he did a good job last game.
Sure. I think that generally what Stats has seen here from Kier, like his overall play style, he's liking the mind drops. We've seen that a lot from him anyways lately. He's definitely going a bit more Marauder heavy, and he's not afraid to go into the later game. Like, these are all definitely things that we're seeing from Kier.
CC Bunker, by the way. Which feels strange.
Well, this is something you and I haven't been able to figure out yet, is how they choose to make their bunkers.
This is so complicated.
It is. I don't even get it.
I don't
think they know. I don't think the pro gamers know why they make bunkers sometimes.
I mean, I could be wrong, and it could be so obvious, but I don't see a correlation to when you build a bunker as a Terran player.
The patterns are beyond us.
Yeah. I'm very curious. I have to ask
Don't worry. I am completely sure that there are some diamonds that are going to let us know.
Yeah. Passionately, even.
Passionately.
I can't wait to read the YouTube comments. The place where real gentlemen discuss StarCraft.
Yes, indeed.
It goes YouTube comments and then BattleNet threads. And then Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the bottom of the barrel. Okay,
So, stats opening Blink. I think this is very good. I mean, he seems to be getting a lot for his Blinks literally every game.
yeah, his pressure with Blink has been phenomenal so far. He's really minimized damage from early game drops as well, which is quite nice. He's scouting. You know, this looks about the same from Cure. Widowmine drop, probably into, 3 racks into third command. Be a little bit surprised if it's anything else.
Yeah.
Kind of the standard at the moment.
I like the third, even though, I like just taking these advantages is really nice for Protoss.
Yeah, he knows there's no way to really be attacked right now, so beautiful timing there on the Nexus.
Right.
Really quick before 4 minutes, so.
Yeah, this is almost the same timing as the last game, actually. And there was a third CC.
That's... You know what? You're right,
Yeah.
actually, now that I think about it. Which is funny, because it was like, okay, you scout that. What do you want to do? Obviously, a
Something
third
as
Nexus
greedy
right
as
away.
possible,
and then
right.
he scouts something completely different. He's like, oh, yeah, I want a third Nexus against that, too. Eventually, what we're going to learn is that he shouldn't go hallucination, because he just
take
does
the
a
third
third
CC
Nexus.
anyways.
Yeah.
Or the third Nexus, yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Observer.
Raven on the way.
Raven, yeah, and an Engineer Bay. Nice that I think is pretty standard. We might see a similar timing to the first game. I think it's pretty much lined up with first game so far.
It looks like it.
And I thought first game looked really dominant, so we'll have to see how this goes out. Medevac just casually flies
you
right
say
by.
you say that, but it actually looked like Stats was way outplaying Kier, and then just took one really terrible fight, and then a second really terrible fight, right?
Yeah, but I mean, watching last game, I feel like Stats is kind of just in a terrible fight mood sometimes.
Maybe.
Like, a lot of those fights could have gone really bad for him, too.
Yeah.
They happened to not go bad for him, but it felt like some
He
of them
had
could have.
one that went pretty bad, but yeah, you're right. By the way, the double forge, there it is. I mean,
This is basically identical to last game.
yeah, a little bit.
Like, I think the double forge is actually the same time, too.
The double forge actually felt quicker this game to me, but that might be because I so thought he should do it instantaneously.
Right. I like the mine drop. It's doing a lot of here, keeping those stalkers at home.
All right, here's a question for you. Do you make a hallucination and try to push it into stalkers?
If this is Diamond League, you do it 100%.
100% it gets it. Oh, nice harassment here.
If you did it right now, you might actually be able to get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like because the thing is, I mean, you get a bunch of damage on the Marines either way too. So
This might be the time that you fly the medevac in as well. Here it goes. The medevac's going.
Oh,
right
really?
into the natural. Dropping out. Oh, the probes got pulled, though. These guys are good.
They're so good. They're
They're
faster than
so
our observer.
good. My God. Like, while he's microing that, he pulls the probes.
That's great that both of them thought like we were thinking.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have been better is if Stats had gone for the hallucination at the same time.
Yeah.
While microing.
All right, very good micro again, just peeling off units left and right. Third CC, of course, going to be finishing up, going up to 5 racks as well. Very, very standard stuff from both sides.
Yeah. It's amazing how standard the game has actually been so far. Like, basically neither player's done anything of substance to either player. Except for this, maybe.
This is nice. This is really nice. How annoying is that? But he is moving across the map, so you know what? Stats, you better recall that right now. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
He knows.
good.
He's like, wait, you're not stopping this? That means you're about to attack me.
Yeah. That was a good call. I bet every single new player thinks you're like a genius right now.
New players are smart, man.
All right. This push, I feel like this is one of those pushes you feint. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do something to you, warp in a bunch of units, and then you just back up, right?
No, I think he's actually gonna fight here.
If he fights
Kira's
here,
gonna
he's
fight. No, I don't think he is, because he has the Raven, right? So he can either shut off the Immortals or Dorito Cannon and everything. Like he has 4 mines here, I believe. Like yeah, no, this is Kira's fighting, man. This is a fight.
I don't know.
He won't back down from the fight like this is IM or something, you know?
Right. I don't like the fight. I mean, I like the trade, but if he goes for the commitment,
Yeah, you do not commit. You are actually shaving the edges of this.
Right.
That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you have your retreat path anyways.
Okay, that was nice feedback.
Yeah, that was
this
nice.
This basically kills the attack, I think. Because now
Yeah, it's not nearly as strong now.
Yeah, this trade.
That was actually okay from Stats as well, getting those mines with those couple zealots. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. and now it goes towards stats heavily. Yeah, the feedback was really beautiful.
It's gonna feel. I feel like if Stats wins this series, it almost feels like a robbery. I don't know why it feels like that to me.
I feel like that a lot watching Kira, actually. People were actually flaming me. I think it was maybe last season. Because I was like, oh my god, or maybe it was a season 1 this year. Because I was like, Kira's playing so well. He's playing so well, guys. Oh my god, he's so close to being amazing. And he lost. And I actually got really flamed by a bunch of
I feel like
scrubs.
I'm about to get flamed for saying the same thing, but it just kind of came to me. I'm like, it actually feels a bit like a robbery.
Watching Cure, I understand a lot of Terran complaints sometimes. Not... Well, what I understand is like the earning the victory type thing, because you watch Kira play and you're like, this guy is legitimately so good. He's making so many nice moves. He's on top of macro and micro and everything.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he doesn't win, and it's like, well, I mean, the game's hard. The game's
He's doing
hard.
all that.
Protoss is doing a lot of good stuff too.
5 Zealots walk in and you're like, oh, I guess the game's over.
And that's not what we mean here, but like, yeah, no, I relate with you about this. Like,
right. I mean, obviously, if
Kira's,
Stats win, Stats deserves it. It's just the...
Kira's almost like my new Leenock or something.
Oh, here we go.
But not exactly, because Leenock actually was.
Leenock?
He was championship quality. Kira's not quite there yet, but his play is awesome.
I think Leenock was never better than Kier. I'm ready to be...
You're just so dumb. It's so crazy.
I don't think Leenock was ever better than Kier.
You don't think he was ever better than Kier?
Not last year.
The season where he made round of 8.
No.
You don't think he was better than Kier?
Kier would have taken him out.
This is maybe the dumbest. You're actually just trolling me. He's trolling me, guys. He's winking at me, I bet.
I love how defensive Artosis gets. It's amazing. I'm going to have to give Creighton some tips. He just gets fired.
Yeah. Like, you're out of here.
All right, so...
Yeah, the switch into the Colossus, the continued upgrades into 3-3 very, very quickly from Stats. He's got that 4th base coming up. Nice big macro game on the way, it looks like.
It's settled quite a bit. Who do you think this favors, the settling of the game? Because I feel like it actually doesn't really favor Stats unless...
Okay, so...
It's hard to say.
Well, I think that right now, Stats has a nice roaming army. Like, I like that Cure is not overcommitting right now. He's just kind of controlling this high ground area. Ooh, setting up the lips.
This is so good.
Yeah, very, very nice right there.
Look, he's keeping on the pressure with the army. Look at the bio army. It's like fighting still. This is so good. But that's not obviously.
I want to say, back to the thing, like, who is this going to favor?
Right.
Historically, if you mass Liberators against Stats, that is a good strategy against him. He's better in smaller, scrappier engagements in the later game. But, like, if Cure doesn't throw away his army and he just gets, like, 10 Liberators and then attacks Stats, that type of move is very good at killing Stats. It just generally it is.
When I look at the upgrades, I feel the game, as the game goes on, it favors, it favors Cure if the game continues. But if Stats hits a 3-3 timing, I'm really scared for Cure.
Yeah.
Because 2-2 is just finishing.
Well, I think that, yeah, he's never going to be down more than 2 ups,
too,
but...
Like, you know, like Lib range and 2-2 and fourth base, it all feels like Kier wants to just delay.
Yeah.
Get a better army comp.
Absolutely. He's making the Liberators and getting range right now. So this is kind of the important part where he needs to just...
Oh, this feels like a really hard fight for both players.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
well,
that mine.
That Storm actually not quite landing where he was wanting it.
Look at the Zealots from the back.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is not good for Kier.
No, he's running out of Liberators quite a bit here. I feel like he just barely did not have enough to make Stats turn around there.
Yeah, I
just
also feel
barely.
like he just barely couldn't be decisive on what the fight was going to look like.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, I think he was worried about pressure from both sides, so he just didn't commit to either side. And then when Stats decisively decided, he was just like, caught out.
Yeah, GG called.
Wow.